Beastmaster.
Complex.
Invoker.
Radiant team pick.
Welcome back, everybody! Draft came out really quickly, so we're going to jump right into it. Complexity versus Digital Chaos, game number 2. We start off with first pick Beastmaster, and whoop-pow! Complexity went for an Invoker and Phoenix immediately. Seems like Swindles, which is not terribly surprising. He usually has his drafts planned out for the various games in his series. That's what that little black book he carries with him is all about. So it's not surprising that they have their opening well thought out. But Blitz, is this a better one for them? The Invoker Phoenix? Because we weren't real sold last time.
Kind of like just taking Phoenix early on. I still think it's a...
Complexities turn to ban.
Mm-hmm.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
You have to kind of change your mentality. Like, you as a Phoenix player know that too. Your team has to back you up when you throw that egg down.
Yeah.
Like, they have to protect that egg at all costs.
You gotta have a team that it's not just the player, right? It's not just of the player who makes the Phoenix work. It is truly a team hero, and teams have to play around it. And Complexity, I mean, they're well known for their 5-man style, so we've seen them play Phoenix before. I think it's one of their heroes that's pretty good into their wheelhouse, and I see the Lifestealer, I see the 1-2 openings from both sides. I am leaning so much more heavily for Complexity than I did last time around. I felt like their Elder Titan Oracle was a really weak duo. But now
it's too passive.
Now I'm relatively happy. I feel like Lifestealer is still one of those heroes that can be countered pretty heavily. I feel like the Lifestealers that we've seen, I've seen some pretty heavy outdrafts against the early Lifestealer picks. So I'm not sure if I like Complexity's opening more, but I think it just has so much more potential than last time.
I just don't like pigeonhole drafts more than anything. I think that drafts where you have one clear win scenario and that's it. But from a casting point of view, it's hard not to be like, oh, this game's over. Because when the underrated thing was when the Rubik stole the Ven Awards, that was like, he just slowed down their push.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, Misery was just like, okay, you're gonna push in Event Awards, I'll just keep Fade Bolting because I've got really early Arcane Boots. What are you supposed to do against that? They had 2 of the best supports at pushing out the lanes. They had a Rubik with Vent Awards, and they had a Winter Wyvern spamming Splinter Blast. Then Complexity looks at that, and they're just scratching their heads, and they're saying, well, what do you do? And I think the easiest way to tell when a team is confused is when they just start getting picked off around the map like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually the sign that a professional team has kind of just said, well, let's just farm for a little bit. You lose your win condition, and you just default to farming.
Yeah. Alright, so our second round of bans, Alchemist and Lone Druid. By Complexity, we are going to see the Enigma and the Terrorblade taken on by Digital Chaos. What do you think about the TB in this current meta, actually? I don't think we casted a game together where Terrorblade was picked. It has definitely been big in North America. I believe China has been running a decent amount, Europe's been running a decent amount. It seems to be one of the big winners of the qualifier, at least, and doesn't really seem to be slowing down too much either.
No, not at all. The hero that... Timbersaw doesn't seem to be...
Okay. Yeah, we saw Timber go through the whole entire draft last game, not picked up. And we may see the same case here. Complexity will grab the Vengeful Spirit. I mean, it's solid lockdown, Saving Grace versus the Beastmaster and Lifestealer. For me, I'm not sure. Like, when do I pick one of the save heroes, or not win, but which one do I choose? When do I choose the Dazzle over the Vengeful Spirit? When do I choose the Oracle over the what's another good saving hero?
5 seconds remaining.
Come on, Blitz Dota. There's got to be another hero left that I'm
I
not
don't know,
thinking
Shadow
of.
Demon?
Yeah, Shadow Demon. Sure.
Reserve
Okay,
time.
so Shadow Demon pumps out a lot of damage, but independently can be very weak. Vengeful Spirit is a good offensive hero. She's kind of like the Mario of characters. She's all around. She
Yeah.
gives you a stun.
Radiant team pick.
Mm-hmm.
You earn.
Mm-hmm.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Right. Right. And, well, we'll add one more addendum to the Vengeful Spirit one. Probably the best support to have with Draw Ranger. You get some distance away from the hero that was on top of the Draw Ranger. You swap her back. She's still able to right-click that hero, most likely, and is able to keep that aura activated. And then you have the combination of auras between the Vengeful Spirit aura and the Draw Ranger aura, plus some minus armor, lots of physical damage. It's quite the push draft that Complexity are trying to craft here. Pretty classic Draw Ranger, at least for this patch anyway. Very often coupled with heroes like Invoker and Venge.
Complexities turn to ban.
That is.
Problematic.
I'd kind of like to see that mid. You remember when it was like the counter
Yeah.
to Invokers for a while?
But at the same time, it's rather good versus this Complexity tri-lane, isn't it?
It is, just because it puts a lot of pressure on Dro. I mean, Misery to play the Beastmaster,
Reserve time.
and that's kind of a little bit greedy, but I think you can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Call it's for Lifestealer, or do you even need one? I started to notice teams. It doesn't seem like they prioritize having that Lifestealer taxi anymore.
In this game, though, surely you have to, right? Because you want to close a gap with Invoker and Draw Ranger. Like this game is. There's got to be more of a priority with closing the distance than other Lifestealer games.
5 seconds.
So there's still Quap and Puck.
Quap seems like you would just because you don't want to
Die.
go into blink into a Phoenix egg.
Yeah, for sure.
That seems scary. Unless it is Weehaw. All right, here's my out of left field suggestion that I know won't happen, and people will say memes, but
The moment you said memes, you had me at memes, dude. I could see it though. I mean, you only have the Draw Ranger Silence that's really threatening. Most of the time, Magic Missile is an ability you can see coming, you can dodge it. Invoker, there's some abilities that are a little annoying for a Storm Spirit, but you can easily play around them. It's mostly just the Draw Ranger that would be the big dangerous one. You'd have a really good high ground defender.
10 seconds remaining.
take Tinker.
Tinker was banned, dude.
Or Tinker was banned. Oh, Tinker was last banned. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Man, Tinker would have been the GG hero.
Yeah, I would, right? Stop all the push.
Remaining.
And you can go ultra late against that lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a danger also of like
Magnus.
Puck or Quap, right? Is that it's a tempo controller, closes the gap. But if you actually don't win those team fights, you don't necessarily have better late game because it's not just a single core Draw Ranger. You've got an Invoker backing up, and you still don't know what that offlane core is.
They do take Puck though. It was the more reasonable option, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like Storm was the fantasy and
5
Puck is the reality.
Well,
My only concern with Puck is always going later on. Just
Sure.
damage dealing capabilities kind of level off, but as a vehicle for lifestealer, very strong. Oh,
Well,
I really like coL's draft this time.
So do I. Axe is indeed Axe. Complexity will go for that last pick as their offlaner. That'll be obviously full-time jungle. I'm feeling like DC gotta get a whole lot done around 10 to 15 minutes. Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, the incredible plays from General in that game. Do you think they will actually fully dodge, go aggro Chilene? I mean, they're dealing with the Beastmaster 4 position, so...
5
Again.
seconds remaining.
Alright, well, game number 2. About to get underway. Again, unlikely to see any early action. So, Blitz Dota. 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. You have 4 predictions, starting with number 1. Team with the first barracks kill.
I want to say complexity.
I mean, you like their draft. They also had the pushing lineup.
In
I
the
thought
first
that
game
one was pretty clear cut.
In the first game, I super heavily favored DC's draft. Like, it wasn't even close in my mind.
Yep.
But in this game, I slightly favor complexities.
Okay,
And
it's not as big.
I go by draft and not by teams. Like, I think if a worse team has a better draft, you should still call it by the draft. So I will go with complexity.
Alright. Total number of player deaths by 10 minutes.
A lot.
Okay, you have 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16
11
plus.
to 15. 11 to 15.
Alright. How long will the game be? 20 seconds left. You have 30 to 37, less than 30.
45 minutes.
45 minutes, 44 to 60 minutes, or 37 to 44?
37 to 44.
Alright, 10 seconds left. Number of ancient camps stacked by 30 minutes. 6 to 10, 0 to 5.
4.
4? 0 to 5?
Yeah, 0 to 5. 0 to 5.
0 to 5, not 6 to 10? Alright, we're locked in.
Nice.
Locked in. Blitz Dota's predictions. We'll see how wrong they are again.
Dude, I'm really bad at that. I called the game well, though. I was really happy about how I looked at that draft and called.
Mhm.
That was like one of my games to call. Even though,
What, last game?
yeah, it was one-sided, but at the same
Alright,
time.
you must be some sort of sadist or something.
All right, Cole, even this up. Let's make it a 5-game series for the homies.
Obviously, they're already in a great position. Swindles, he easily jumps right in front of the first creep wave, and Moo is sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Complexity, they're going to be running their aggro, what is currently a dual lane of Limp and Hanskin versus Soxa and Resolution. It's just a dual lane though because Z-Freak is currently trying to harass Misery and take half his experience and just be a general nuisance inside of the jungle. Then we have our mid, Weehaw Puck versus Chessie Invoker.
Gonna complain about this matchup
Yes.
on Twitter if this continues to just go the way that it is. Like, Swindles is just running at him right now. This is so infuriating to play against. Funny enough, the last time I played this matchup was against Hanskin in a pub. And he was playing the Broodmother and I was Axe and I just laughed at him. Because you can't do anything.
Were you DMing him the whole entire time in
dude, of
Steam
course. Every single time I blink called him, I gave him a question mark in chat. Like,
you know, I would say you're a dick, but then again, I'm pretty sure the glove never tilts. So
yeah, dude, did I tell you? That's not even the meanest thing. I told you about the time Bambo and EGM were scrimming against each other.
no.
So Bambo played offlane, right? And EGM is obviously the safe lane support. Bambo solo kills EGM, and Steam DMs him in the middle of the game with question mark. And EGM's playing like silencer, so EGM devotes that entire laning phase and the game to just killing Bambo, and every single time he does, he spams -2, -2.
Silencer's probably the best support to start tilting somebody.
They'd be in the middle of a team fight, and he would Steam message him -2.
-2. an early rotation on Weehaw due to the opportunity here for Hanskin with this Invis rune. Chessie just needs to get a little bit damage on Weehaw, and I think they can actually do this one. With obviously the stun coming as a complete surprise. Chessie, not trying to ruin this opportunity, is playing it cool.
He's trying to get Weehaw to use the orb.
Yeah, Weehaw's just too healthy now.
Yeah, they see him too.
Yeah. So the orb finally comes out. Maybe the rotation is in time. Hanskin comes out. Surprise. Now with the cold snap, they're going to get a couple right clicks. Phase shift, dodge some damage. They managed to get the silence out. A little bit of Acres dive. And one more. There it is. Chessie will be the one to pick up the first blood. Of course, Misery's just like, okay, thanks for the present. I've got a free little birdie to claim a counter kill.
He's been slowed down a lot in farm though because of that blocked camp.
Yeah.
And I do like that Hanskin was patient about that. Unfortunately, they lost the Phoenix, but committed the dive just to get that kill. I think it's fine.
I really thought they were going to be able to straight up pop him when he was low and you were sitting right next to him with the magic missile. I thought they were just going to go for it.
Didn't they ping him, or did they ping the ward?
No,
he should have known the ward a while ago.
I think they pinged when it was when the Beastmaster Hawk was sitting here. The Phoenix was kind of hovering around, so I think they were like, Phoenix is here, he's harassing me, blocked my camp. You know,
they probably just didn't understand that the venge was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was unexpected to say the least. At the same time, Limp, when it comes to CS, he is a little bit further behind than the Lifestealer. But the trade-off, of course, is that this Axe should be doing very well. And
I was about to say, over here on Suicide Watch, Moo, he's actually not that bad. 23 CS.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's getting a whole lot done with these little spiderlings. This is pretty classic, right? The Broodmother, bad matchup. You just send all your spiderlings. Oh god. Bottom lane, they've gotten a kill in the Draw Ranger. Resolution doesn't seem like he's gonna pay for it with his life. He gets away, healing salve, and he'll be right back to farming away at bottom.
Yeah, it's very good by them to kill that Drow, and they are playing kind of this sacrificial style, but at the end of the day, I think complexity is okay. Like, early kills don't matter so much as long as it's not an overwhelming amount, if that makes sense. You just don't want to feed away all of these huge kills. As long as that doesn't happen, ultimately what it's going to come down to is the team fight and the pushes, more than all of these mini skirmishes.
Right. Smooth just full-time jungling now, pretty much. Swindle will be able to continue to pressure the tower as much as he wants. Resolution, 19-4. Draw Ranger, 8-3. This aggro lane is really not going well for Complexity. It's not even terribly offset by the fact that Moo is getting left out in the cold. He's actually quite happy with his CS so far.
Lifestealer just continues to farm. Sudden you're just going to see people go at it, pretty much. Because Complexity, you're going to try to push the pace. DC's going to try to counter them with their Lifestealer bombs.
So, try not to get too bored, ladies and gentlemen, watching all these heroes farm away. The action will be ramping up soon. What's going to be the first step in your mind? Is because it's not going to be a real fast Blink Dagger for Axe. He looks to be going for the Vanguard first, not too terribly surprising. So what's the first big step of either one of these teams to set the first kind of tempo, breaking down the laning phase and causing some chaos?
I think it's going to be DC. I don't think Complexity necessarily have to move. Like, they can stay fairly static.
Yeah.
And they're okay.
So just comes maybe the Puck. It's a Puck answer, because we've got level 6 now. He TPs to one of the side lanes and tries to punish the heroes there.
Yeah. I think that's where our first, like, flurry of action happens, because I know that this Axe, the way that Complexity like to play him is they like to play him as a farmer. Yeah. And yeah, it is going to be
Sunstrike, Misery is going to be eliminated. They still may be able to pick up a 2-for-1 here. Hanskin slowed down enough, and he knows it too. He just tries and turns around, go for the kill on Saksa. Doesn't actually make it happen though. So 4-2 now on the board. Complexity continue to suffer with their aggro dual lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I thought this would go a lot better I thought that they would have a better chance.
Oh,
At
Z-Freak
contesting,
should've
but-
shown up there. That was not the time to Firefly. They still managed to get the Raw Ranger kill as well as Weehawk cuts across and Hanskin.
Oh no,
Hanskin,
he completed
my friend,
it.
Why did you complete that teleport? Somebody mistyped there. He was trying to spam the stop button, didn't quite hit it. Completes the TP, feeds away yet another kill. 7-2 now for DC.
This game. I think they actually have to swap lanes out at this point.
Yeah.
And that's what they should start doing. Because this Axe is enough farm right now. They're gonna go for this play on Moo, but there's no way they can kill him.
Swindles. Tried to go for a desperate call that... I mean, if he hits the call and he gets real lucky with the spin, Z-Freak flies in over the top with the Sunray, maybe, just maybe they could get the chop, but it was very much a desperate move for a desperate team, as you said. They are going to have to switch up the laning phase. It's just not going well enough as is. Moo, they're going to try and go on him again here. They have another dust. They can pop it, but Moo is already out.
I don't think they can make that play. I think that...
Whoa, what? They still caught him?
Now
All
they
right.
make it. He
Now
stayed.
Swindles, he's going to be caught or roared up. Swindles will pay for that kill on Moo.
They got two, though.
Yeah, they got the Phoenix as well. Soxa managed to clean that one out. How the hell did that happen?
I'm
That
not
was
sure.
like-
I wish I could rewind right now.
Yeah, he was back to the tier 2. I was like, alright, I'll jump away. Something
I
else.
thought Moo was safe, so I
Yeah.
also looked away. The unfortunate thing for coL right now, though, is that their Dro is 0 and 3, and this is kind of the linchpin hero of this entire draft.
Yeah.
On top of that, she's still not level 6, so you haven't even seen her pump out a lot of that damage yet. Moo's gonna go for that first Oblivion stuff. I've seen Bulldog go for the Echo Saber, but I think this is possibly just gonna be an Orchid straight up.
Why? Because the Invoker and Phoenix?
Yeah, there's a lot of incentive. Oh, Swindles? There's no Roar though.
You sniff that one out, I guess? Either way, he does manage to dodge the gank. Complexity are going to be having Chessie farm up the Ancients so they can open up the mid lane for Limp to be there, because bottom has been quite the disaster for coL.
Alright, so Sox is just sitting up here gaining XP. And Complexity, we talked about it. The reason why DC, when you asked me who do you think is going to make the first flurry, you probably knew the answer too, but it's DC just have much more mobile heroes. Like they have a lot of different ways to engage fights, whereas Complexity, how do they start a fight? They're just about to pick up level 6 on Hanskin. They don't have a Blink Dagger on their Axe yet. I think Swindles has to tech switch, go for that Blink instead of straight up rushing that Vanguard at this point. Otherwise, they pretty much just have to farm and allow DC to set the pace of the game. And I think that's the wrong way to play this one. I think that Complexity have to be the ones to get active around the map.
Well, you had some biased analysis last time around, but this time you're actually getting it pretty right, or at least you've got one of the predictions correct.
Nice.
11 to 15 kills, or player deaths by 10 minutes. Woo! Right in the middle at 12.
The best.
Isn't it nice to get some validation mid-cast?
Oh, it's, you know,
Yeah.
it really tells me, that alone tells me I'm doing my job right.
Alright, Chessie picks up the Aegis, and Complexity will have something in their pockets to maybe stop Digital Chaos from running at them. But something tells me that's not really gonna stop DC.
I don't think DC cares.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep running at you despite that extra life on an Invoker.
Yeah, they look mid, they see a level 6 Dro, then they double check to see that Resolution's higher than that. They confirm that he's 2 levels higher than that, and they're like, alright, we're good. You just do the double take, you know, like... What I would like to see,
he was
make your
absurdly
way over.
overleveled.
Yeah, make your way over to Weehawk right now, Resolution. Let's get some Wii on Resolution action.
Yeah, they just picked up the Blink Dagger, so I am terribly surprised that they're not actually going for it. Maybe they feel like so confident that they're like, no, Resolution, you just keep farming. It would be a waste to bring an extra hero for this gank because we're
Continue
so far
to farm.
ahead. Alright.
That was like a desperation Roche. That wasn't like a get ahead Roche, which is weird because normally when you get a Roche on this early, you're in quite a good position, but Z-Freak dies fast.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pop the supernova here. Moo, almost caught, but now here comes the rest of Digital Chaos. Swindles, he managed to get the call. Here comes the Sun Strike, but the chop's gonna come in first. Swindles looks for more. Has the Sun Ray over the top of him. He'll be healthy. They're gonna turn, kill Z-Freak instead until he slides himself away. Swindles on the hunt for misery. He will end up getting the kill just before it goes down. Weehaw would clean up the rest of the fight, but considering that was the smoke ink and full rotation from Digital Chaos up to the top lane, Complexity gotta be pretty happy with that 2 for 2.
Should have brought Resolution.
They really should have.
That like a 2-0, but
that's some overconfidence right there.
Yeah. He got pretty unlucky too. Like Misery got spun on a lot near the end there.
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
He's getting quite low. Hanskin's gonna go for the very early swap out.
That was a solo support that did that to him.
Yeah.
Does have the Dragon Lance completed now, and Complexity, that top move really helps them out though. They've got a Blink Dagger on their axe now. Chessie split pushed that bottom wave. He feels very comfortable with this Aegis, has that Midas completed, leading the game in the net worth.
Yeah, they
it
only
is the Echo Saber.
They only gained from that, right? Just because of the fact that they were kind of behind in the laning phase. They traded 2 for 2. They traded a tower for a tower.
Yeah. Whenever you're smoke inking like that too, it's gonna be in favor of the team that got smoke inked if they can trade evenly there.
Yeah. We'll see if this smoke ink works out. Complexity will be able to get the Blink Surprise onto Resolution. He does have the Infest, but nothing to invest into unless the CP's complete. And actually, he doesn't even need it. Turns on the Armlet, turns on the Rage. Now, DC gonna have the opportunity to be able to respond. Gets the coil out. Z-Freak, snap back. Won't be able to do much here. Supernova almost up the call, but no! Doesn't get the Supernova out on time. Now, Swindle's banking on some major spins. He's not going to be able to get it. Resolution. Careful, my friend. Swindles is a god. Jesus. He
never challenged that
lord.
man.
Holy crap. He
That is
almost
the last
got
time. That is the last time, Cap, anybody right-click Swindles.
Meanwhile,
that was absurd.
Moo playing a very calm and easy game here in this top lane. Take a tier 2 tower.
More than anything.
Yeah, if Resolution went down there, that would have been 2 fights in a row where DC kind of just lost or went even because of RNG.
Swindles would have been my new religion, man. What kind of man just
Are you
spins
saying
like
he
that?
isn't already?
Yeah. That top fight? That was insane. Alright, Moo's starting to pick up a really healthy amount of farm. So the 3 cores from... Actually, if you want to call it 4 cores, because that's really what it is.
Yeah.
They're doing quite well in this game, and 4 out of the bottom 5 are all complexity heroes. Like, coL will have to start finding kills around the map soon.
There's actually a pretty healthy gap there between the Axe and the Beastmaster, too. At that 5th and 6th position. It says a lot about the game. Digital Chaos. They are going to maybe not be scaling completely better than Complexity in the late game, but they are going to hit a very good mid-game stride with once they get their full core out items with like Necronomicon on Beastmaster and such. The call goes out. They will be able to take out the rest of these spiders. Moo, still thinking about it, is going to try and pop Z-Freak or at least force out the Supernova. Moo, he jumps himself away. Happy that he forced that, but maybe not so happy that he ran into Swindles with the dust. Now the Battle Hunger slow, plus the Sunstrike and a chop to finish him off. Oh no, the lifesteal! He actually lifesteal just enough to stay alive, and Moo, he will not actually dare Swindles. He will not play that game of chicken. He waits it out, lets his team pretty much finish up the axe, and doesn't try and challenge the Spin Lord.
Were you about to say Findle?
I don't know.
Swindle, man. Finish the Swindle. I like that. I gotta catch you on those things, Cap. Keep you on your toes.
Findle? Is that what I said?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I just thought you were trying to be cool, and you know how people just shorten things in this world?
I'm not sure how Findle could ever be... how Swindle Bells could ever be shortened to Findle, but...
No, it's like finish Swindle. See? Kill Swindle.
What? Swindles dies so often that we just start turning it into a...
No, not that wasn't even the point. Wow, that is rude. That wasn't even where I was going with that.
Soxa! He's being
Sunstrike?
run down. Sunstrike!
Oh no! Oh, Chessie, you beast.
Man, this has not been a fun game for Complexity with those Sunstrikes.
Chessie is
Game one,
really,
game two.
he's keeping them in right now.
Jump in, double and silent. Z-Freak doesn't have a supernova. There's no extra damage though. Moo, not gonna chance it, not gonna risk his life for an attempt at a support kill.
There is an early gem pickup by Swindles. That is a huge commitment. Like, you don't want to lose a gem at 17 minutes into the game. That is a very significant item. Because if you lose it, the enemy team dewards, and you're already in a disadvantageous position against Life Sealer bombs. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be able to farm the map ever. Don't lose this gem, Swindles. That is the only thing that they can't afford to do right now. This gem is more important than, like, 2 heroes.
So at this point, would you say Complexity shouldn't be splitting up too much? Maybe, Wait, what happened? Didn't he have a Ring of Health at one point?
Yeah, he sold it, I think.
For the Blink Dagger pickup?
No, it's on the chicken. It's on the chicken. He
Oh,
did have
okay.
it, though. He just dropped it.
Okay. I was a little nervous. I thought Swindles got an item killed or something. It dropped his Ring of Health or something.
No. Just chilling.
Necrobook 3... No, not Necrobook 3 on Misery. He was like, had 2100 gold. He's like, nah. I'm gonna go a Vanguard. Before
Crimson Guard?
completing Necrobook 3. Don't think I've ever seen that.
No, me neither. Because
mean-
part of it is that the Necrobook 3 is so strong.
Yeah. Gives you that vision game. There's the Infest Bomb you're talking about. How dangerous that combination is and how it puts Complexity on edge at any moment in time. One hero is just going to get instantly picked off. Well, you see it in action with that poor Phoenix.
Yeah, this is reminding me way too much of game number 1, and if we're talking about like where things kind of went wrong, I don't know how. At the time, I was kind of okay with the draft. Like, I'm not gonna. There's no revisionism here, but at the same time, Complexity had such a rough laning phase. Like, we talked about how the laning phase doesn't matter too much, but it was so rough from the start. Like, they lost the Drow 3 times in under like 7 minutes or something like that. And when that happens, that's kind of a hard position to recover from, especially for a Drow Ranger of all heroes, because that is not a catch-up hero. And Limp's gonna get gone on at top by these spiders. Swindle is just waiting here. Invis, I think Moo kind of senses that something is afoot.
If he was near these trees and Hanskin, say, threw out a Wave of Terror, they would find a very happy surprise inside of the trees and might have been able to get themselves an excellent pick-off. But, oh, maybe they know. Moo.
Oh, he's pinging
sweating
out
bullets
everybody.
now. Alright, never mind, he's good.
They're gonna go for this top fight though. If they can find, remember this axe, that gem, we talked about how important it was.
They're going to be able to get the roar out. They're going to take out the damage dealer first. Limp already dead. Now Swindle, swap back, but still inside the coil, is going to be taken out. The gem is going to be dropped soon. The Sun Ray's not going to be enough to save him. Gem grabbed, recovered by DC, and they claim 3 heroes' lives on Complexity. So you might as well call that a full wipe if Blitz's truism of the gem being worth 2 heroes at this point for
It is so
Complexity.
important at this phase of the game. Like, it means a lot. Now, Moo's game just became 10 times easier. Like, this guy is like, oh, first gem out of the way this early on into the game. Complexity's not going to have one for another 4 minutes. These supports are already very poor. Like, you don't want to have to force this Vengeful Spirit to keep buying Dust and Sentry. She's not ever going to have item progression. And on the flip side of things, like DC supports, I mean, Soxa has the best support luxury item in Dota right now, Force Staff. Like, Misery is pretty much a core. He's got
really is.
1,800 more.
So, obviously, in hindsight, Complexity should have just ran a regular tri-lane at top and had Axe Jungle.
I'm not sure
do you
about
think
that,
that would
'cause-
have solved their laning phase, or would the Broodmother still be that big of a problem?
Because most of the issue, I think Brood would still be that big of an issue, because most of it comes down to the fact that they only pick the axe to get the one-on-one matchup against Moo. But I think they anticipated that bottom lane being better, but Misery made such an early rotation to that bottom lane to secure the kill on the Dro that it was hard for them. Now Complexity's gonna go for the Roshan, and Moo can't really be there for this fight. DC though.
Desperation smoke number 2, and DC have sifted out. They managed to get the jump in. Limp almost dead already. Resolution is going to be interrupted by Swindle's call, but it doesn't matter. Misery comes in and cleans it up.
It's gonna be a good egg.
The egg is going to be able to successfully explode. Maybe that'll turn that fight for Complexity. They managed to get the coil onto 2, but no, there's just too many cores. Too low already. Chessie is going to have to single-handedly win this team fight, and that's just not an option. Digital Chaos, too many heroes. Z-Freak going to be spotted out. Not even him going to be able to make it away. They still had a Winter's Curse available, and Z-Freak will die because of it. And all the meanwhile, that was a 4 versus 5. Moo, he's taken the lane of Brax at the top and is going to be able to get Roshan.
Yeah, Moo just chills. Free Roshan for DC, like everything just went in their favor right here. They pick up a free Aegis. And when I say free, I mean most of the damage was done for them. That's an AC completed on your Life Stealer. Your Moo just casually decided to take Rax up at top. He's got a Deso, and that 9-second BKB still ticking. Complexity, they really needed that Aegis. That was one of the better fights that they were going to get. Think about the scenario. They're fighting around a Roche pit with the Phoenix on their team. It was a 4v5. The Winter's Curse wasn't even laid out. And they still lost the fight pretty hard.
Obviously, you are so far behind that it's tough to really identify one thing that could have changed the direction of this game for you. But is there anything that you can identify? Maybe the last pick, draft difference, laning phase decisions, anything that coL could have done better that could have changed the way this game was set up?
I think that last pick, Broodmother, was just too good against Complexity's lineup. It was very powerful, and... Oh, at bottom.
Nope, he's good. Yeah, just barely ahead of that Winter's Curse.
Still, that casual gem... Oh, there's another gem. Oh no, never mind, he just dropped it. Oh, there's a roar.
Z-Freak, he's still got the Icarus dive. Will be able to get away. Couple more right clicks coming in. He's got a Sun Ray, the TP out. He's going to try and put himself on the trees, and no, he sniffs him out real quickly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Moo still up at top. He still doesn't have that Deso delivered. Doesn't even seem like he really cares too much about having it or not. It's like, we don't really need it.
I'm half expecting him to try and pick it up from the stash inside the Dire base.
Yeah. You might as well. They're going to make an excursion into their jungle, but without the gem available, Swindle's not really certain where to go. He's going to pop the dust and maybe even catches him here.
Oh, he gets the call. Jesse's right here with all that magic damage. They managed to blow him up before the BKB could come in. The majority of the magic damage slams into the Broodmother, and they get the Culling Blade during the BKB to finish him off.
Yeah, that's very good. You just need micro pick-offs like that more than anything.
That is a kill that was worth over 2,000 gold and 2,000 experience. That was how far Complexity are behind right now. Didn't want to show you the metrics, but sometimes you gotta lay out that nasty bare truth.
How are we doing on our predictions?
We are wrong on Complexity taking a barracks.
That is true.
That is very true, because I'm not sure if Complexity...
The other ones, though, were good, right?
We'll see. Let's see. How long will the game be? 37 to 44?
That was probably wrong.
Do you think that the game's going to end before 35?
I think that DC can push the pace much faster.
But we're going to our last one. Number of ancient camps stacked by 30 minutes. 0 to 5. There's only been one.
Nice. That's the one I really wanted to win.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's the skill one.
It's all about the ancient stack meta. And able to identify it.
Oh, bottom.
Swindles gets the call. Resolution still raged up. Chessie. Swing and a miss, I guess, with that tornado.
I think Resolution should hop in Weehaw right now. Hokey pokey in there.
Put your left hand in.
No, Resolution's also their tower hitter and he's their Aegis carrier. He's the only person that can go up like this.
Yeah.
But Moo's finally gonna join them.
Unless Moo hit it. Moo could hit it.
Nah, dude, he doesn't want to get called.
So. Alright. Resolution is going to get called. They're going to get the swap back, bringing Resolution even deeper and manage to get the silence. That's a pretty good combination, but Resolution still engages. Now the word just curse gets laid out. That'll take out Z-Freak with no Supernova. I can't imagine how Complexity are ever going to be able to turn this fight around. They've lost 4, they don't have buybacks, and DC are looking more than healthy enough to be able to take not just this laner X, but also mid, and that will be Megas, as Chessie will try and give up his life to stop this DC flood of heroes entering into their base, but it's not going to be enough.
These games are going by so quickly right now. Complexity just outdrafted in 2 games in a row. I thought their drafts this game would be kind of more fitting of theirs.
It has been a very rough series. It was I think the first series was kind of rough too, from what I was watching. But it looked better than this one. This best of 5. DC are really manhandling Complexity, but